Hey everybody, this is Axel's Tower Carrier, and out of all of the first year 2 LEGO NEXO Knights sets, this is the one that I personally was looking forward to the most. So it had better be good or I'm going to be very unhappy. Well, this is a good start. This is Burnsy, the big bad guy in the set, and the size of this one is pretty respectable relative to a regular minifigure. He's really towering over him. I like the color scheme. It has a nice balance of the trans orange versus the red. And the build was nice. It was fun putting it together. I like his huge hammer, which doesn't use too many pieces, but looks good, and it's properly sized for him. Looks very menacing. His head is able to be turned side to side a bit. He's got these gray banana horns, which I think is a really good use of that recolor of these parts, and I look forward to seeing more use of those. The pauldrons up here kind of do limit your range of motion with the arms. Also the orientation of those ball joints, those mixel style ball joints, kind of limits you going up and down there, but you can go across quite well. And also with the elbow joint there, it's able to move around a fair amount, so you can get some good poses out of it, I think. And then the legs are able to move forward and back quite a bit, including the knees. See, those joints are oriented just perfectly, so you can get a lot of range of motion there. It's pretty well covered up from the back as well. They didn't leave that open. They actually put some effort into closing that up. He's got his tail right here, which can be angled up and down. Kind of use that for balance a little bit. And this is a disc shooter over here in this hand. This one's relatively limited in its range of motion, but you can kind of sling it underneath like this, upside down. I think works the best. This is the trigger mechanism for it back here. You just push on that and it's going to shoot out these 2x2 discs, and they include in the set 3 of these. So 2 with that print right there, and then I'm grabbing another one with this print right here. And speaking of prints, it's a pretty good print for his face, and I especially like the one for his body as well. Now that is one fairly large piece, but it's just kind of the outer skin. Inside of that, it's all built up with proper Lego building techniques. The tower carrier itself was also a good build with a lot of clever techniques. They weren't too tricky, just clever. The choices of methods of attachment of various things, using simple pieces and just easy to follow instructions, but you just kind of have to follow along with the instructions themselves to really understand what I'm talking about. And if you're not going to buy the set, I do recommend that you just take a quick perusal through that instruction sheet and get it free online off of Lego's site, or probably from other sites as well. It was just good to look through. They make very efficient use of parts. Like for instance, here on the sides, these flaps that come down leave some empty space behind them, but once they're actually down, they kind of make the whole thing look fairly solid from the side, but at the same time, they also leave room for some tools. So there's a clip under each one of these, and they've included a wrench and also a bunch of kind of axe pieces included with this set to use with the Axel bots, which we'll see a little bit later on. The main feature here is the turret, which is based on a classic castle turret that's been turned into a modern style of turret. You can actually turn it around. It has a bevel gear system in it, and it turns very easily. This has shooters all over it, so on this side, spring-loaded shooters, and these can actually be shot at the same time. It's interesting they use this tread piece here that just kind of hangs down, so you can push on that and shoot both of these together like that, and they give you just one extra bolt with the set. And then on the other side, this is a disc shooter, and both of these can be aimed up and down in addition to turning them side to side. This is a disc shooter. This is the trigger mechanism back here, and that just shoots out these old Knighton discs, which are the exact same ones that we got in year 1. They are printed pieces with a little bit of metallic print on them. The control cab section here has an interesting build to it. I like that shape for the window. There's a little bit of gap down below. I wish that had been covered up just a little bit better. There are 2 ways that you can get into this though. One way is to just open it like that from just the window part, but you can also take the entire thing, which gives you much better access to the inner section there. It is piloted by an Axel bot. It has a small console in the front and just a steering wheel, which seems perfectly reasonable for this type of thing. Oh, by the way, these kind of hard plastic wheel tire things are in dark gunmetal gray, not black or gray like they've been before. So that's nice to get that. And there's a major transformative feature to this whole thing, which you may have seen on the box or in some art in advance, where all of this, I mean, it's called a tower carrier. So it's supposed to be carrying this tower, which means it needs to be able to deploy this tower also. These little yellow and silver levers on either side are used to deploy that tower. You just push them back and eventually it'll just kind of click and, oops, wrong way, push it this way. There we go. And it just kind of drops it off. So that leaves this behind, which now is able to roll around on its own. Interestingly enough, it has little dark gunmetal gray wheels as well, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, he can just use this as his own personal little siege machine if he wants to. This is a fairly solid build itself, and you still have the ability to turn this thing around. Forgot to mention that on the back there is also a treasure chest right here, which is just used as a box, and you can use that to store an extra NEXO power. Just one will fit in there, but you can also use it to hold on to one of the books of, one of the spell books that you can actually get back, recover, or try to save from Jestro and his forces. Also, Axel is able to fit in there into the main area. Not fully though, doesn't fully close down. Maybe, I mean, it's kind of a deep pit down in there. I think, yeah, there we go. Just had to get him to sit down. It's going to be a little bit tough to pull him out without pulling the helmet off, but it does work. But mostly I think that it works best to have him standing up, because then it's more convenient to get at him, but he doesn't really stand like they show on the box where he's really out of the thing. You need to put some extra bricks in there to make him stand up so you can actually see his face. This is his shield right here. So they give you a clip on the front there. Again, just giving you good places for your accessories. Clip on the back, that's his weapon, and you can also put another weapon back here at the same time. With the tower deployed, the tower carrier itself remains actually usable because it has a little additional feature here. Bring open these two small doors, pull this back, look at this. That becomes a catapult, and they give you a couple of these trans neon reddish orange 2x2 bricks, and you just put one of those in there and aim and fire by just pushing down here very quickly. And that actually works very nicely. It has a very good arc to it. It's almost 45 degrees, so you get some good hang time with your projectiles. And like I say, it's just useful. It continues to be, a major machine to be used in battle, even though you've deployed the main weapon. Here's Axel, and I don't think there's anything new about him, but I still think that he is a cool figure. That upper torso piece, if you're not familiar with it, is fused to a standard Lego torso inside of there, so you can't actually take that off and use it on other torso pieces. The arms are specialized and dual molded with the trans neon reddish orange in there. The visor with the horns on the sides can be raised up, and Axel does have two faces. So taking all that off, there's a full look at his kind of Neanderthalish look right there with the big brow, and then this is his other look when he's a little more happy. Here are the two Axel bots with their new little printed piece there for the front, the 1x1 tile, and then that's an Ash Attacker over on the right. I like these Axel bots because of their color scheme, which kind of makes them look like they're part of a construction theme. They're construction related. They're supposed to do repairs and such. And each of these gets two faces. So I've set up one of the bots with the face in one direction and the other in the other. And you can see that there really wasn't that much difference in the eyes. So from the front with the helmets on, pretty much looked the same until you take that off. A total of 4 NEXO powers are included. Those are Rock Throw, Incinerate, Stone Stun, and Force Field. And then the set also comes with one of the spell books. This is the Book of Fear. Really nice print there. And you also get the tile on the inside that shows what monster may be summoned from this. So they did pretty well with this set after all. Everything looks pretty good, goes together very nicely, and works well. Works a little bit better than I expected, actually. If you have any thoughts about this set that you would like to share with myself and the rest of the viewers, of course, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to get to work on my next video, so I'll be talking to you again very soon.